Hi everyone, I am going to do a quick introduction to how to use Brightspace. It is intended to be just a very quick introduction before I actually get into the syllabus, and I figured that for some of you this might be important. So, especially if you've never used our system before, some of you might have only been online during COVID while you were in middle school. So since then, there have been a lot of changes, a lot of new programs, and if you're using similar programs, some of those programs have had updates that have completely transformed them and changed them. So I want to make sure that you're kind of aware of what some of these changes are. So, real quickly, this is the Brightspace environment. You will see something similar to this. You might see something like where it says no term. Actually, it might say all. I'm going to switch. I can't change the profile in here, but you might have something like this where you have all these things and you don't know what they are. Along the top here, if you scroll across, you will find the semester. So this is the semester that we're working with. I'm teaching 3 active classes, right? So these are my 3 classes. You might see 4 classes. I don't know if I believe they have these available. The use and your professor's use of it will vary. They will change. Some of them will not refer to Brightspace at all. Some will use Brightspace in one form or another. Sometimes it's just to dump files. Sometimes it's to put the entire class content in there. So you're going to see some really different things in there. Just be aware that that is each person uses Brightspace differently. So this is just my kind of basic introduction of how to think about this space and how to operate here. So when you find the class, first of all, let me just show you something right up here on the top. I just want to see this little bell here. Whenever you see a little orange mark, whether it's on the bell or whether it's here on the subscription alert, that happens when you do discussions and when someone responds to your discussion, or when you have email alerts. Usually I don't think they'll pop up in here. I think the emails go directly to your regular email. Same thing with me, just use regular email. But if you see it there, it means someone has sent an email. You can click on it and it'll give you an update on what it is. Sometimes it'll give you updates on when things are due. Don't get too caught up with, oh wait, this hasn't disappeared or this hasn't happened, right? As long as you submitted something, you should be fine. If there's an issue, I will let you know, hey, I didn't see this or this didn't go through, and then you just get to make sure you resubmit it. Worst case scenario, you will send me a copy through email, and we'll work something out. Don't panic about any of that stuff, but just keep aware of that. Announcements sometimes will display here. Email check will be here. I just don't worry about any of that stuff. Click on the class, and it will take you to this page here with these widgets. Right, the widgets show you, I don't know if you see all the widgets ahead of time or not. I think I'm going to switch to student mode because I get the administrative nodes. All right, so you do get all of these. And so this tells you how many topics you have completed. Don't worry so much about that. It's good. I go through all of them as much as I can, but sometimes it won't check everything off. So when you click on it, right, it'll show you the following. Another way of getting from this is the interesting part. So this is the page with the widgets. If you click on content, it'll bring you to the page that clicking on the widget takes you, right? So it'll give you all the information that you need, everything for the introduction to the course. Here's my little introduction. Here's the syllabus, right? And you can click on the subtopic and it'll just show you the syllabus right there. The videos will be, I'll add them on as best I can. So if you look at sociological imagination, I don't have the video loaded yet, but pretty soon there'll be a video loaded right down here. Actually, I think I have it in the introduction down here. Here it is. So here's the video introduction right here. Just like it is down here, that just kind of introduces me to you, and hopefully you'll introduce yourselves here as well. You click on that to open up, for example, the syllabus. You click on the link, and it will take you to the syllabus page. I like to keep my own folder on my own device. So whether you put things on the cloud or whether you put things directly on your local hard drive, that's perfectly acceptable. So what I like to do is I like to scroll down on the side, not on this side, and click on download, right? And then I can save it, see right here, right? And I can open up the folder, and then I can take it from my downloads and put it on any folder that I want. And so that'll open up, right, the syllabus for me. I believe I already had it opened up. So there it is, enable editing, and there's the syllabus for us. I'm gonna open it up like this. And so that's how you get that information from there. If you click next, it'll take you to the next area that you're in. By the way, you have to be, it gets wonky, but if you're doing discussions, you have to be in the discussion page in order to get the next discussion point. Because if you click that arrow, it'll shift completely to the next section, not the next. So if you're in a section, it'll only move you forward to the next section. If you're within discussion, then it'll move you from one discussion to the next discussion posted by your classmates. However, those are just things to consider. So if you click on it, it doesn't take you where you are. Just come right down here to the side and it'll navigate you to the right place. By the way, I think this is all changing in the by next year at some point. So it just, you know, it is what it is. You deal with it what it is. Hopefully the changes won't be too traumatic. So that's how you click on that right there. When you do a discussion, you click on this item right here, and it'll ask you to start a review. Some of you have already started it, right? So this is great. And so you click on Start a New Thread. You enter the subject heading. See the little asterisk? It means you have to do it. And then you answer these questions. Now, what I like to do is I like to take the questions. I like to copy them. I like to move them into a Word document. What? That's crazy. And then here, right? I go here. I paste, and then I respond to each one, and then I take my responses, and then I copy and I paste them in here. Why? Because when you write directly in here, if you're writing like a monograph and you've written, let's say, 400 words, right? To me, that's my kind of limit, right? So not limit in the sense, but if I've written 400 words, I'll get annoyed if those words just disappeared. So what happens is that when you write, sometimes it doesn't save anything. Like you could lose internet connection. It could log you out. All these horrible things before you even post. So I like to keep a hard copy of my responses. And sometimes I need my responses for something that I'm going to use later on. So for example, you have reflection pieces that I will be talking about. And so in those reflection pieces, you might want to say, wait a minute, I want to go back to that thing I wrote about. And it's better to have a hard copy of it on your drive or your cloud space than it is to then have to come back here and try to figure out what that was. Plus, it keeps a good record of all your classes and the work that you've done in your classes on your own cloud device, right? Because these will shut down, and you could eventually get access to them if you request access to them, but it's really hard to get that access. So just to let you know, right, it's just much easier to kind of do it that way. Once you've written it out, right, you can click post, and then it'll go online, right? Just like this other person below, it'll fall down here. You will respond to each other, right? By clicking on the response, reply post, and then that's how it works. You should be familiar with a lot of those things, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew what that was. Just want to make sure that I'm keeping track of time because I want to keep it to about that 10-minute mark. So I came back to this side right here. So here is how you navigate up here. If you want to see your grades, you can look at grades, and right, these are all the things you're being graded on. So you'll get your grades right here. Yes, I took my own quiz. Why did I do that? To make sure that it was working. So look, wow, got 2 out of 2. By the way, you have to get the right answers on these before you can move forward. So just get the right answers. Just easy points, right? Easy points. So if you want to look at your class progress, also, so anyway, bring back to course home. So here it is, really quickly. That's how you navigate through Brightspace. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Just click on the links as they pop up. Click on the things that are available to you. Download the things that are either PDFs or anything like that so that you can keep records of those things, and that should help you navigate through Brightspace. So hopefully this gives you a kind of brief understanding of what you need to do for that. Thank you.